this moment, he's Cantinflas, the great Mexican clown. In a few moments, will be Paez, the Mexican champion.
And while you may laugh at the gregarious or the outrageous costume, as he attempts to become only the 4th featherweight champion to ascend to the lightweight crown, he's trying to join 3 of the greatest names in the history of the sport. Tony Canzoneri, Henry Armstrong, Alexis Arguello, all of them legends. Jorge Paez's competitive record, 37 wins, 3 losses, 4 draws. The 26 knockouts demonstrate that as a featherweight in particular, he had knockout power.
And one of those victories, the one he won for the championship 3 years ago, the last time a 15-round championship fight was held.
And to comment on Paez's hairstyle, we bring in our own in-house expert on state-of-the-art scalp decoration, George Foreman. George, is that Saturn or a haircut?
I can tell you one thing. He's got applause from me.
I'd
like to know who come up with that idea.
Yeah, I think Edward Scissorhands has become a boxing fan.
And as Paez cavorts in the ring, the champion, Pernell Whitaker, begins to make his way. The 3rd defense of the undisputed lightweight title. Of course, there were defenses prior to that of the belts that he won before he became the first man since Roberto Duran in the 70s to unify the 135-pound weight class.
Does this mean we have 2 purple people eaters? I don't think I've ever seen 2 fighters wearing purple at the same time. I guess they both think they're royalty.
What's the name of the music in plays tonight?
Seem to be about evenly split between the champion and the challenger. There are many Mexican-Americans and Mexicans who have made the trip here to root for Paez. Whitaker's record 26-1-0, the only loss to Jose Luis Ramirez in his first shot at the title. He later avenged that loss with a 12-round whitewash of Ramirez. And the only loss in a championship fight was that first decision loss to Ramirez in Paris, France, a fight that all of Pernell's supporters believe that he had actually won. Dale of the tape, and you can see that the 2 fighters are relatively similar in size. Whitaker a couple of inches taller with 3 inches more reach.
And here are our fight stat numbers. We can see that Whitaker is the busier of the 2 fighters. Paez is an accurate puncher. However, here are the jabs, and from there you can see that Paez would rather be shot out of a cannon at his circus than throw a jab, while Whitaker starts everything from his jab.
HBO scorer Harold Letterman brings us the rules.
Jorge Paez and Pernell Whitaker will fight tonight using a combination of the rules of the IBF, the WBA, and the WBC. 3 judges scoring the fight on a 10-point must system, no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule, and you can only be saved by the belt in the last round only. And Jim, we want to remember that since Jorge Paez does get cut easily, if a cut is caused by an accidental headbutt and that cut causes the fight to be stopped, the fight is a technical draw before the 3rd round has ended, or a technical decision in favor of whoever is ahead on the scorecards after the 3rd round.
So the end of the 3rd round is the deadline for technical draw on a fight stopped by cuts. Right now, let's go up to ring announcer Michael Buffer for the pre-fight introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, Main Events Monitor and the Reno Sparks Convention and Visitors Authority, in association with the undisputed, undefeated king of beer, Budweiser, present the featured bout of the evening. This bout is sanctioned by the International Boxing Federation, President Robert W. Lee, Supervisor at ringside, Bob Weitzel. The World Boxing Association, President Dr. Gilberto Mendoza, Supervisor in attendance, Santiago Chicas. The World Boxing Council, President Jose Suleiman, Supervisor in attendance, Hector Garcia. It is also sanctioned and approved by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, Chairman Luther Matt. Commissioners Dr. Elias Ghanem, Nat Carasali, Dr. James Nave, and Bruce Lane. The Executive Director is Chuck Minker. The scoring for this bout will be done on a 10-point must system, and the judges are Chuck Jampa, Patricia Jarman, and Keith McDonald. Our physicians in attendance are Dr. James McLennan, Dr. John Wickman, Dr. Craig Goodmanson, and Dr. Joseph Heflin. The timekeepers, Jim Carpenter and John Rogers. And when the bell rings, ladies and gentlemen, the man in charge of all the action, the referee, working for the 54th time in a World Championship bout, is Mills Lane. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the biggest little city in the world, Reno, Nevada, let's get ready to rumble! 12 rounds of boxing for the undisputed lightweight championship of the world. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the purple sequin trunks, weighing an even 135 pounds, his professional record, 39 victories, 26 by KO, 3 defeats and 4 draws. He's ranked as the #1 lightweight challenger in the world. Damas y caballeros, con Mexicali, Mexico, the former featherweight champion of the world, Jorge Romero Paez. And his opponent in the blue corner, wearing the purple trunks with black trim, also weighing an even 135 pounds. This 1984 Olympic gold medal champion has a professional record of 26 victories, only 1 defeat, 13 KOs. He's from Norfolk, Virginia. Ladies and gentlemen, the undisputed lightweight champion of the world, Pernell Whitaker.
Look, if he goes right there, I'm not going to call it low, all right? Now, you've had all your instructions in the dressing room for the championship of the world. That's a tough, clean fight. Protect yourself at all times. Any questions here? No. Any questions? Let's get it on. Come on.
Jim, unequivocally, I like the guy in the purple trunks and the purple shoes.
I think you're safe, unless Prince shows up. One of these two guys is going to win. Well, you had the characteristic "Let's get ready to rumble" of Michael Bumper. You got "Let's get it on" from Mills Lane, and there's the bell.
You got to understand, these are the most frightening moments of a boxing match. Prior to walking up in those steps, and then getting in it before the first punches land.
Now, what can Whitaker do in round 1, George, to try to be sure that he gets into a boxing match rather than a brawl?
You train months and months. You spar. You try to establish the same thing you've done in the gym. You move in the directions you want. Constantly create that atmosphere you had in the sparring session. Looks to me that he's done it.
So far, this is the same Whitaker we saw against Anthony Baby Jones and Poli Diaz, the flat-footed, careful-stepping power puncher that he wants to be.
And in a sparring session, what never happens is your sparring partner jumps out on you and attacks you. Wow. That's why you need to do that in a boxing match to get the other guy off guard. Do something different.
A wild right hand by Paez goes clear over Whitaker's head. Mills Lane tells Pernell Whitaker not to push Paez to the canvas on the back of the neck.
Whitaker's starting to jab to the body early.
And Paez begins to flail to the body, and he got one in.
Which is important. If you know that this fight may go 12 rounds, whoever gets in the better body punches earlier is going to have an easier night. Whitaker tries to retaliate by going back to the body.
Whitaker coming straight up the middle, and so far able to stop Paez's charges with hard punches right to the face.
There were some pre-fight discussions about Paez keeping his right hand extended without throwing it. It's a dangerous thing to do because a lot of fighters run into that and get hurt without even punch being thrown.
Again, Whitaker puts the back of his arm on the back of Paez's neck, and Mills Lane with another discussion. They touch gloves, and here we go. Less than a minute in round 1.
Started to reach his hand behind his back and do some clowning Whitaker did earlier. Hard to be with a clown and not clown, you know?
Do you think it's any specific problem for Paez fighting a southpaw, or is he so unconventional that it doesn't much matter?
I think these guys are so well experienced. It doesn't matter what they do as far as southpaws in position. Whitaker is so quick, at least previously. It didn't matter where his feet were. He could throw good punches. Now,
Whitaker lands an uppercut.
Paez is going to have to keep his right foot on the outside of Pernell Whitaker.
Another hard left-hand uppercut from Whitaker, and that is the one punch that he said in our meeting yesterday.